Welcome to this week's Future Toolbox podcast. We explore the Z to A of life skills, where each letter stands for a topic and essential tool to help you get ahead in life. Meet Jules and Mark, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox, and enjoy their straightforward approach to creating growth mindsets that help people turn their dreams into realities. Whether you're a teen in education, a parent, a teacher, or part of a community group, start creating positive habits from today.
Hello there, it's Mark and Jules, creators of the multi-award-winning Future Toolbox here, and welcome to the latest episode, the final one of 2022, the Z to A of life. We hope you had a fantastic Christmas, everybody. And what's this week's letter?
Oh, hi everyone. This week's letter we thought would be really good to use. G is for gratitude. So we're going to be looking at what are you grateful for, particularly anything that's happened over the last 12 months. Yeah, so it's nearly the end of another year. So we think this is a pretty good time to maybe look back over it and recognise what you have in your life and what you've achieved. Now, this could be anything. Maybe you've met somebody, and that doesn't have to be a new partner. It could be you've made new friends, could have perhaps started a new hobby, or maybe got a promotion. You could have found a new walking or running route, or just tick something off your bucket list. Let's have a look at identifying what good things that you've experienced in the last 12 months and see how you can be grateful for them.
The Oxford English Dictionary describes gratitude as the quality of being thankful and readiness to show appreciation for and return kindness. And I really love that because it follows on from the podcast we done a few weeks ago, which is K is for kindness. And also, we've just had a wonderful Christmas, so lots of gratitude. I got some lovely presents, and so did you, didn't you?
Yeah, and we've said before, Christmas is a great way to show appreciation for some things that people have done for you and possibly to return kindness by giving them a little gift to show your gratitude.
And one of my favourite things, just before Christmas, do you remember
Yes.
Serena, our friend from Breakthrough Public Speaking?
Oh, yeah.
Now, we got loads and loads of e-Christmas cards, which were really nice. And I felt bad, actually, because we didn't send enough of them, really, ourselves. But Serena sent us one, and it was a little voucher treating us to a coffee and a cake at Costa, wasn't it?
It was an absolutely wonderful surprise and so kind.
Yeah, so on the Z2A podcast, thank you, Serena. We love that.
And we might invite you along for the coffee as well.
It's a long way to come for it.
It is for her. So yes, we've just had the weekend of exchanging gifts. But how do you show appreciation if you've been given a gift that you look at it and you think, oh, wasn't expecting that?
Well, my mum bought me some Brute aftershave.
I remember that.
When I first opened it, I thought, Brute? No way, nobody wears Brute anymore.
No.
But I actually put some on, and people going, oh my goodness, I remember Brute aftershave. I actually really liked the smell of it. So it was, at the time, I thought a bit of an outdated, bizarre gift, but I actually really liked it. I've run out of it now, though.
Thankfully. Joe, I remember that year I bought you a game for Christmas and we didn't realise just how complicated this game was. My mum had come over to spend Christmas with us and we started playing this game and it got us doing the most bizarrest of things. She had to go and find a lamp in the house and sing to it. And I just have this vision of my poor mum having to do that.
That was absolutely brilliant. And just for our listeners out there, we weren't drunk.
No, and my mum wasn't. But guys, yeah, I'd love to hear from you some of the funniest Christmas presents that you've received. Might not be this year, but in the past as well, because there's been some great ones out there, isn't there?
Oh my goodness, I remember somebody buying me some chocolate once. I'm not going to name who it was.
Oh my gosh, was it me?
No, it wasn't you. And I love chocolate. Yeah. As you all know, because we've mentioned it many times, I have a chocolate addiction. And I'm not giving it up for New Year. Before you start on New Year's resolutions, I am not giving up chocolate as a New Year's resolution. There, I've said it publicly. Anyway, back to the point. I got these chocolates and I can't remember the name because the name didn't even exist. So it wasn't like Cadbury's or Thornton's or Hotel Chocolate. Now. It wasn't anything like that. It was a really random brand. And you have the little flavour thing on the inside. Do you remember that?
Oh, the little sheet where it tells you
caramels and coffee creams and all that.
Yeah.
You like coffee creams, but I don't. Anyway, I'm detracting from the point.
Yeah, it's waffling.
Every single one of these chocolates tasted like orange. but really bad chocolate orange.
They did.
I'm not talking your Terry's chocolate orange, which gets smaller every year. I'm talking about the worst, cheapest, nastiest tasting chocolate ever.
Talking of Terry's chocolate oranges, just before Christmas, a friend of mine was saying that they were going everywhere trying to get one for, I think it was for their partner or somebody in their family who really loved these. And they were really struggling, like they were sold out everywhere. I hope she found one. Did you get one for Christmas?
Do you know what? I wish I'd have stockpiled Terry's chocolate oranges now. Could have made some serious money on that. I love this because today is G is for gratitude, attitude to gratitude. And we're talking about rubbish Christmas presents that we're grateful for. But more to the point, let's get back on track to gratitude. So what have you been grateful for in 2022?
I'm always incredibly grateful for being in good health over the last 12 months. And that's made me fortunate to be able to do all the things that I wanted to do. Like if I want to go for a swim, I can go for a swim. If I want to, when I'm away, climb up a volcano, I can do that. And especially because I'm acutely aware that not everybody is as fortunate as me and maybe want to do those sort of things and can't physically do that.
I love how you just casually dropped in there, if I want to climb up a volcano, I can climb up a volcano.
It's something that I've been doing a lot of this year.
I know some people are listening in thinking, what on earth is she talking about? For those of you that don't know, we've spent a lot of time in the Canary Islands and found a love for Lanzarote. And we have been volcano climbing, volcano walking, volcano running.
They are dormant, by the way.
Yeah. We haven't fallen in any lava yet. But yeah, I totally get that. I've loved the volcano trekking and I'm totally with you. Health is so important to us both, isn't it? And I'm really, really fortunate that I can run. I love it. I've done a lot of races in Lanzarote as well and also in this country. So that's been a real big plus for me.
I think you wrote a book about it.
I did, funnily enough. Now you come to mention it. That was going to be one of my gratitude moments because writing that book was a great healing process.
Yes.
And we have talked a little bit about the brain injury and everything like that in the past. But writing Half Man, Half Marathon was a great passion of mine to write about the running. But it was also a release of the trauma of thinking how far I've come since going through some real tough times with mental health and anxiety and stress and low mood and everything. So writing that book and getting the story out there has not only helped to inspire other people, but it's been great for me. I just remember early October, the book launch and the friends and the people that supported us. So massive gratitude for friendships and communities. We did see for communities, didn't we? So that.
Well, that's it. And again, this year, I'm always grateful for our wonderful friends that we have and our family, and also some new people that we've met, new friends that we forged over the last 12 months as well. Now, you mentioned about travel. Now, that's as anybody that knows us, or we've probably said on previous podcasts, but it's a big passion of ours. We do love travelling and we do love being on holiday. This year has been no exception. We've managed to be away for quite a period of the 12 months. And one of the biggest things that we've started doing is paddleboarding this year. We did it once before and learned how to do it in Lanzarote many years ago, but we actually purchased our own paddleboards this year and we just love it. And one of my greatest memories of our last trip to Lanzarote was getting on the paddleboard and taking ourselves right out to the airport and actually on the paddleboards right by the airport watching the planes come in. So two of my big passions, plane watching and paddleboarding on crystal clear waters. Totally grateful for that.
It was fantastic. We even thought about doing airport runs on paddleboards, didn't we?
We did come up with that idea, but I don't know if it will take off.
No.
Take off.
It might sink. And then, of course, when we came back from that trip, after lots of paddleboarding and airport collections, maybe not, but when we came back from that trip, we obviously then had the day out in London at the Headway Awards, which is probably just a smidgen above all my highlights of the year. The highlight of the year.
Was. Especially at that time of the year as well, just to finishing off your year, isn't it?
Yeah, it was so special. And I'm still sitting here almost, 3 or 4 weeks on from it.
Yeah.
And I'm still internally grateful and humbled to have that award and still getting people getting in contact with us and the stories going out there. So it's just helping to inspire others, but honestly honoured and humbled. I just want to do that day again. It was so special. It was so emotional, wasn't it?
And again, looking back over the last 12 months, very, very grateful that our business is still thriving and we're going really from strength to strength. Since starting as a social enterprise and being able to network and build our presence within other communities and working with them, collaborating and just doing some wonderful, wonderful work, haven't we?
Yes, enterprises like Power of the Mind Networks, Bailey Bears and Rushton Swimming Club.
They're just a few that we worked with. They stick in our mind because they were such great ones, and we're looking forward, particularly with like Bailey Bears and Power of the Mind, to do some more work with them.
And also, I just wanted to express a big gratitude for some of the funding we've received this year, which has allowed us to work with Admin and More. Those guys have been absolutely life-changing for us, helping us with our social media, with the blogs and the podcasts that we're putting out there and that you guys are listening to right now. So yeah, massive gratitude to Elizabeth, Elise and Emma for really helping us, and the rest of the Admin and More team. They get so much gratitude from us, don't they?
Lots and lots. Now, you know, not everything in everyone's life goes to plan. And when that happens, it's pretty tough trying to stay positive and grateful during these moments. You might be listening to what we've just been saying about all these great things that have happened to us over the last 12 months and thinking to yourselves, wow, they've got an amazing life. Wish I had their life. But that's not always the case, is it, Mark?
Indeed. I mean, in earlier podcasts, we've talked about daily challenges that we have to face with my brain injury, for example. So we could have a day completely planned out, loads and loads of stuff, and then I get thrown some fatigue or lack of concentration or something that's just going to throw it off balance. And putting it bluntly, you never know what you're going to get sometimes.
That's very true. We never know what we're going to get. We can get up in the morning full of energy and vigour and think, right, we're going to do X, Y and Z and we're going to get this done and be very productive. And what happens is Mark's brain says, no, it's not going to work. It cannot process information, and instead of going from A to B, it goes from A to M to Z to F and maybe get to B, but not till a lot later in the day.
Yep, halfway through a conversation, brain gives me a bit of fatigue, switch off. But I think the thing I'm really grateful for is with all the support from organisations like Headway and Icebrook and so on that we've mentioned in the past, I'm now in a position to be able to manage and cope with those situations. And if it means going and having a rest, then so be it. But the acceptance is there. So I'm grateful from the acceptance from both my side and your side that it's time to wash out a couple of hours, have a bit of a rest, put something back and reevaluate.
That's very true. I guess it's about adjusting your attitude, and you said your attitude to gratitude. In most situations, there will always be some good, and it's about being able to highlight that and focus on it. And when we have days when we don't get what we want done, it can be really, really frustrating, especially if we're up against time or a target. But there will be some good in that day. A great thing to do is begin a habit of writing down at the end of the day every positive thing that has happened to you and that you can be grateful for. Because although it might have been a really frustrating day and you haven't achieved all that you set out to do, there will be some great positives within that day that you have achieved.
So you do your bullet journal every day, don't you?
I do. And one of the last things that I do write in there is what I've been grateful for that day.
And where can you get a bullet journal from?
Well, you can get one from our website, which will give you the details at the end of this podcast. And it's called How to Bujo or Bullet Journal. And it's fantastic.
I love a little plug there. Do you know what? I'm grateful for the opportunity to plug one of our books. So plugging books aside, let's go back to gratitude. And I'm going to throw out a little call to action for you, our listeners out there. We've talked quite heavily about gratitude in 2022, but this, as Jules is saying, is a little habit that you can practice every single day. At the end of each day, just pause and appreciate the things that you're grateful for and perhaps you might take for granted. These could be having a nice home or a safe place to live. It could be the food that you have on your table, the fact that we have running tap water.
Yes.
We've mentioned friends and family, even things like the internet. And I know teenagers are internally grateful for Wi-Fi and internet.
And TikTok.
But we are grateful for all of these things. And they're things that we just take for granted. We just go somewhere, log on, we go somewhere, we eat something, we talk to a friend, we talk to a family. So think about the ways that you can show your gratitude, whether it's in a journal, whether it's just saying it to yourself, and look for those positive things every single day.
I'd also like to share with you that studies have shown that this can also help towards decreasing your stress levels and improving your mental health. It also can increase your optimism. So if you're a more pessimistic person, this can actually help you to be more positive.
I absolutely love that. Positivity, it's our middle name.
It is.
But gratitude is a great influencer of changing lives. I'm going to finish off the final podcast of 2022. The final one. We'll be back next week, of course, in 2023. But finishing the final podcast of 2022, the Z to A of Life, by saying a huge gratitude.
A huge thank you to everybody that supported us.
Yeah, thank you everybody who supported us, to our listeners, to our readers, and just want to wish you a peaceful and prosperous Happy New Year. And we shall see you in 2023.
We look forward to it.
So as always, you can find us on our website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok, as well as our YouTube channel, which is @FutureToolbox. We'll say it again. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And we'll see you in 2023.
Thank you for joining us for the Z2A of Life Skills with Jules and Mark of the Future Toolbox. Don't forget to head over to their website, which is futuretoolbox.co.uk, where you can find lots of free resources, plus a host of books in the store, as well as subscribing to the membership site. Follow Future Toolbox Instagram, TikTok and Facebook @Future Toolbox, and subscribe to their YouTube channel too.